an invade after that, that's big. If they win the first 2 turtle fights considerably, then they control the early game.
Is this a late 2024 Eve pick or another Game 7 MSC Eve pick? For few, we're about to find out. Game number 1 in a best of 3. It's a star match for Week 6. ONIC PH versus Team Falcons PH. One more look again. Keep close tabs on the rotation and the clearing path of the Beast King Kong.
So, I mean, is it just me, or I find Kalea a bit, especially in the pro scene, or just in the pro scene, a bit overrated?
Ooh, started with the hot takes, huh?
How dare you?
No. I'm seeing it because so far, okay, this time they're going to focus fire on the XP lane. A good decision that can bear fruit for Team Falcon, especially early on in first turtle.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, one of the reasons why the overratedness comes in is because you have Purifies getting picked up in the pro scene. No one wants to do that in their ranked games for some reason against a Kalea.
Okay, but you want to go for Few. Already pops his Purify, and that's a worth it engagement for ONIC.
Okay, good trading around the center of the map. So King Kong went purple to orange upwards, then it's going to go back for the golem. All right. And we saw earlier in the emblems is to pull yourself together for the Kalea. You do actually need that in the pro scene because you need your flicker more often as a Kalea.
Some were theorizing the revitalized Kalea, but that might fit more in your ranked games. This is a very proactive Kalea, and again, it's very utilitarian. ONIC PH can use that defensively, offensively, and look, Ogwin wants to go fast. The fact that the Kalea is just standing there and Ogwin knows is slowing down this approach, setting up a turtle fight. ONIC wants this turtle. They want to fix those early game stats.
Yeah. I really like the positioning right now of ONIC. You saw earlier how deep they were diving under Fuse Tower, so bring him down low. So they're really putting a lot of importance yet again to controlling the center of the map.
Okay. They delayed Fuse level 4, and they're dogpiling on the turtle here.
Okay, the Beast still was able to get the first turtle, forcing out even FlapTZ's flicker, plus the split. Here comes Kirk with the AOG. No counter trade for Team Falcons.
Oh, where's this going? The diversion. Oh, just a feint.
Yeah, no, I think they sent King Kong to the orange buff.
Just the 2, yeah, just the 2.
Yeah, just the 2 to steal it away.
Alongside Brusco, here comes the slam onto Kyle TZ, paired up with the title spike. They're going to bring down Kyle with the first blood.
All right, Ian, tell me now, is it overrated?
Now, in the hands of Brusco, clearly not. But in the hands of Ian, yours truly, yes.
Thank you for the disclaimer. I thought we would spend an entire day where I'd hear disrespect on the my Kalea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that a possessive? My Kalea?
Yes.
When was Kalea actually allowed to be picked? Was it week 4 or week 3?
Yeah, week 4.
Okay, so 2 weeks was more than enough for these pro players to actually make him or master Kalea. Ogun jumps in, but gets caught out by 3. And Super Friends joins the party, picks up a kill of his own.
Yeah. Excuse me, I believe that was week 5, right? It was only 1 week that we've seen Kalea. Week 4 was when the patch dropped. Week 5 is when Kalea was active. All right.
So, okay, they only need 1 week then.
Yeah. Look, a lot of pressure being applied onto the jungle of Kyle TZ. So, and a very smart use of the diversion up top. You know who you can't purify? Kyle TZ can't use Purify. He does have some sort of like purification tool with his ultimate once he's maxed out with the beats, but he didn't have it then. So right now they're just playing around this Kalea and this Loyi very well, sending Brusco into key areas where they could disrupt Kyle TZ, and not just Brusco, even Kirk's doing it. Again, one of the best qualities of ONIC.
Oh my God, Brusco looking for a quick one. Does not press the button on it. Dodging that jump.
Kyle TZ goes in with electrifying beats. Raging Sandstorm already used up. Here comes the jump coming in from Kirk. Gonna miss, but FlapTZ was able to go with a split. Hanging on to King Kong. Now here comes Super Marco. They're still trying to work on the Filipino cannon, and the Tsunami Slam is gonna feed it off to King Kong. A diversion up top.
Oh, they're sending the full team just to try and get the orange buff. They really want to disrupt the farming of the Joy here. And you know who I heard earlier said that they think Joy is slightly overrated?
That's not me this time.
No, yeah, it wasn't you. It was Midnight. And I'm honestly starting to see why you consider why. When her jungle is so easily invaded, she falls off so badly.
Hey, You're talking about a man who is a whole desk away, a full broadcast language away, and he's also getting slammed. He's also very wrong. 4-0 currently. ONIC sitting with a comfortable 3K gold lead. Super Marco in trouble.
Okay, there was a Purify. Kirk still holding on to the bulletproof. Ogwin very quite low here. Flapteezy jumps in right after Kelra. Okay, Kelra a couple of hits away, was able to flicker out. Here goes the RWM. But Brusco and Kirk still working on him. Kelra, will he be able to escape the one more hit?
No way!
Okay, Kelra still alive and turns things around. Still 2 kills for ONIC Philippines.
The gold standard still standing despite literally Flap being on top of him for a good 10 seconds.
Big yikes by Falcons. Super Marco could not even get close enough to try and bring Kelra even lower. And Kelra walks out scot-free while Super Marco's lane is getting pressured.
And do you remember what Kelra said a while ago? He can literally bench Flapteezy, and that's what he did.
Yeah, he was doing it there.
All
he
right.
was benching Flap without a problem. It's now a 3-level gap. Make it 2 between the 2 junglers. King Kong is just ruling the jungle right now. Kalteezy's still hungry.
All right, real quick.
Diversion.
An instant replay.
Oh!
Check out the live. There's a kill on a Kalteezy live. And let's appreciate that play once more.
You know the action's non-stop when your replay and your actual live is still going on. Brusco jumps in with the Raging Sandstorm onto Brusco. And they're going to be able to pick him down. Kirk with a Revitalize as Super Marco trying to clear out the mid lane. Here comes Flapteezy once again with a split. And it looks like the Clash will disengage.
Falcons right now completely out of their tempo. Few was doing no damage to Kelra. Under the real-world manipulation, he got 3 taps in and was barely able to take him past down 50%. He brought that up when Kelra was at around 90%, 70, 80% health. So still needs way more damage for this Eve. It's gonna have to get to the point where Falcons will have to understand they lose control of the early game. Mid-game's gonna be a big struggle for them even more. They have to play for a little bit later, see if they can win out trades by only losing their roamer and or EXP. They cannot lose their main damage dealers anymore.
Falcons no longer contesting. Clear take for the last turtle of the game here. ONIC PH still asserting dominance in mid while holding this diversion like a sword of Damascus. All right, rotating down over to Super Marco. Does he know there's 4? Does he know there's 4?
Okay, here comes the taunt. Still has his Purify plus his tower. Ogwin with a conceal. Will Team Falcons engage here? It looks like they're not going to engage, all the while King Kong's just pushing up top.
All right, 5 members of Falcons committed to protecting that tier 1 in mid and in bottom. And the rotations are so slow compared to ONIC. Run and gun pales in comparison to ONIC's sheer map control with the diversion.
Again, we were talking about it earlier. In the center of the map, their damage profile is great, but they're severely lacking that hard crowd control that a Kalea, even a Lowy soft crowd control, even the crowd control Suyo can do. It's just way better.
Oh!
Tsunami Slam paired up with the AOG. Ogwin counters out with the Raging Sandstorm. They're going to bring down Flapteezy. Kirk with a Revitalize to out-sustain the damage from Falcons once again. And no trade still for the Green Falcons.
Dudes is just flying everywhere, despite there literally being a box to hold them in. The diversion coming through, coast to coast, over to the orange. All right, Kirk and Brusco, too late to spot that orange take.
All right, how ONIC isn't going for pick and rolls. They're going for pick and pops. Once they get the pick, pop them. And that's exactly how you want to play when you have a Kalea. Don't waste the Tsunami Slam. Play into it.
So far, approaching the 7K gold lead, ONIC is calling all the shots. Ogwin here, even with a sand walk, afraid to walk into the wrong bush. Quick sand guard just to top himself up. I think Falcons are feeling the heat. Like, they can't even recall to recover because ONIC is just going way too fast.
I called it. I told you guys it's either going to be a very fast game or a long game. And 9 minutes in already, 7K gold lead. Okay, they're trying to work. Okay, Tsunami Slam countered out Ogwin. Here comes the real world manipulation.
Oh, man.
But still, they were able to take down the Master. Kirk on the back with the AOG. And King Kong with the Evil Queller onto Flap. The next target is Kalteezy. That's a 4-man down. 4 Falcons will fall down. King Kong wants to go for more. There's the diversion, and the bulletproof stays alive.
All right, no additional casualties for Falcons. Super Marco, the only one left. Clear go signal for ONIC to go for the Lord.
As a Falcons guy, I just want to say the gods looking like they are so back. Falcons, so sharp, so decisive. A lot of what we've missed out from ONIC Philippines for the beginning of the season. When we saw them go on their winning streak, we started missing it a little bit more because we saw shades of it. Now against Falcons, they are so back.
And they're jumping in once again onto the Master.
Wow.
Next target here is Flapteasy. Tsunami slam to deliver the final blow. AO diversion up top. They're just going to try and steal away the orange buff.
You know, I don't blame you. With all the things happening, you don't know if they're feinting an AOG or a diversion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of AoEs.
Or one of Kalia's passives.
And they commit the ultimate to steal the orange buff.
Ladies and gentlemen, ONIC have reached the 11K gold lead mark, approaching 12. Falcons are out of their breath. They are flying at altitude so low, they're struggling to even put gold on Super Marco, who, by the way, is still bulletproof. But at what cost? Let's check out the items here. He's barely built 3. All this while, oh my God, he is almost 3,000 behind Kelra.
Yeah, he may be bulletproof, but he's not ONIC proof.
Okay, Ogwen trying to go look for an angle, but it's spotted out by Kelra. Lord already bursted down to mid lane, inhibitor turret as Flapteasy onto Keller with a split, but he's targeted by Flora. Conceal coming in from ONIC Philippines, and it looks like they got their job done. They were able to take the base, and now they're surrounding Flapteasy with 4 members, and the Filipino cannon shuts down.
They almost took Flap back
Oh,
to their
Jigong.
boot camp in the base.
Oh, the beast! Incarnate himself! Still alive, but gonna get taken down by Super Marco. ONIC family still holding on. 4 members are able to take down 2 once again. And now the tier inhibitor up top and down bottom. Super Marco gets a kill. On to Brusca though. Kirk jumping in once again. They take down Master Ogwen. Kelro with a